Hi everyone, welcome back to Kidding Around. My name is Melanie Smith, and I think it is fabulous that you are here with me today to talk about a wonderful woman. Today we will be talking about the fashion designer Madeleine Vionnet. Before we do that though, if you like what you're seeing here and want to follow along with all of Kidding Around's videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and below each video click the thumbs up. Of course, if you really like what you're doing here, please share us with your friends. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about our wonderful woman. You know, according to my holiday a day calendar, today is National Dress Day. And so I thought it would be a great day to talk about Madeleine Vionnet, who is known for making dresses. So let's talk a little bit about her life. She was born in 1876 in France. Her family was very poor, and she actually had to stop attending school at about age 5. But she began an apprenticeship at 12 years old to become a seamstress. And then after that, she began designing clothing in Paris as a young woman. Her styles sometimes were at odds with the styles of the fashion houses that she worked in, though, and so she opened her own fashion house in 1912. Her fashion house, after several years, became known as the Temple of Fashion. Her designs were very popular in the 1930s and were worn by several Hollywood actresses in the United States. Remember, she lived in France. She became known as the architect among dressmakers and designed clothes that were comfortable and not stiff as the designers before her had designed. Another really interesting thing about her is that she fought for copyright laws in fashion, which would ensure that others could not make money off of designs that weren't their own. And another thing that she did that was really cool and really ahead of her time is that she provided her workers with paid holidays and paid maternity leave and daycare. They had a dining hall and a doctor and a dentist on staff for all of her employees. And the last thing that I want to tell you about her that I think is so cool is that she really was not concerned with being a trendsetter, even though she was. But she really was concerned with making something that made her happy. And I think that is a very important thing in all things in life. Find things that make you happy, and I guarantee if you're doing something that makes you happy, you will absolutely do a better job at it, and she is proof of that. So I thought, though, that it would be fun today to make some paper dolls with dresses on them in honor of her. Of course, you know, sometimes when you think of paper dolls and you think of dresses, you think, oh, maybe that's something that girls might like a little bit more than boys. But if you are a girl or a boy, I highly encourage you to take on this activity because I think that you will have fun no matter what. And guess what? You get to be the fashion designer in this case, and you get to decide exactly how your paper doll or your paper person looks. We're going to do this dress together, but this should not stop you from doing anything that you think would be very fun to see. All right? So in order to do this one, you will need some supplies. There actually are quite a few supplies for this one, but they are all pretty normal household supplies, so hopefully you have them on hand. So the things that you will need some coffee filters. You'll need one for each skirt that you make. You will need some ribbon, and you will need some felt fabric. Actually, you could use any type of fabric, but felt will be the easiest to work with. And then you will also need the template for the paper doll. That's below this video. Of course, you could also just draw one as well. But if you want to print out the template, that's linked below this video. And then you will need a spray bottle, one that kind of mists, and it should be filled with water. And you will need some white glue, some scissors. I have 2 pairs of scissors here because I have fabric scissors and I have paper scissors, or actually I have fabric scissors and everything else scissors. Fabric scissors stay sharper longer if you only use them for fabric, so that's what I do. So I have paper scissors and fabric scissors. You will need a Sharpie marker. The color doesn't matter. You will need several water or washable markers. The colors are up to you, and the colors that you choose are the colors that are going to come out on this skirt. And then you will need some yarn for hair, if you want hair on your paper person. You will definitely need paper towels. We're going to use these a lot today. And then you will also need everything that you need to watercolor. So the watercolor paints, the paintbrush, and the water. All right, and in addition to this, because you can make this your own, however you want your paper person to look, you can absolutely bring in little knickknacks and doodads that you have around your house. I can definitely see that you could use some jewels, or you know what? You could even glue in some dirt. You know, fashion designers use tons of different mediums. You could glue, I can definitely see leaves from your garden. I can definitely see, like I said, dirt, like gluing in dirt. That would give it a fun texture and a fun color. Anything that you think would make your paper people have some really fun clothes, it's totally game. It's your call. All right, so let's get started. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do is take some paper towels and we are going to really layer these. So you can see I'm doubling mine. You could even triple yours. If you're not tripling them, definitely make sure that your work surface below you is protected with some paper, or is a surface that could get dirty with paint on it. So I'm okay getting a little bit of paint on my work surface. It cleans up pretty well, so I'm just doubling mine, but you might want to triple yours. All right, so then after I have my paper towels laid out, I am going to lay out my coffee filters. And actually, I'm only going to be making one paper person today, so I guess I don't need the second one, but you know, it's always nice to have a spare. All right, so I am going to lay out my coffee filters, and now I am going to color some designs on these coffee filters. Now, if you look at this paper person, you can see that her skirt is very much tie-dyed. There's a tie-dye effect to it, and that's what we're going to do today. So the designs that I am going to be coloring on my coffee filter here are going to be distributed. They're not going to be able to be seen as specific designs. So I am actually just going to color big blotches of color. So I am just going to color here some dots, some large dots of purple, and then I will show you how to make them look tie-dyed. And I'm going to put some orange here. I'm going to alternate those a little, and it's up to you. However much color you want to put on this, go for it. You cannot, it is not possible to put too much color on here, and the more color that you put, the more colorful the end result will be. All right, so I've got that, and then let's see, I'll put some yellow out here, and you know, you put your favorite colors on here. It is up to you. Just remember that you don't want to be drawing very detailed drawings, because that detail is going to go away when we tie-dye our coffee filter. All right, so I'm putting quite a bit of color in here, and I think that this skirt is going to be very fun. Very colorful. Of course, you know, you could do, if you just want to use one color, you absolutely could do that. If you just want to use your two favorites, that would be fine too. You just can't go wrong here. It's going to look great no matter what you do. All right, so I am going to make mine a little bit more colorful here. And you feel free to add as much color as you want. You could go lighter and have a more white skirt, or you could go darker with more colors and have a more colorful skirt. It's up to you. Oh, and then I just got ahead of myself. I just kept going. All right, so now once you have it colored and the way that you want it to look, or the colors swatches that you want to be on there, then you take your spray bottle with water and you are going to spray all over this coffee filter. And it doesn't need to be soaking wet, but you definitely want it to get wet enough that all of the colors kind of start to bleed. And you can definitely see here that they are starting to bleed. All right, so once you have that, then you are going to very carefully move that aside and let it dry. This needs to be completely dry, and it's going to take a while to dry. So that's why we're doing it first, so it can be drying as we're working on something else. All right, so then after that, you are going to take your template, or you can draw a person that is going to fit in the clothes that you are designing, and you are going to paint the person. Now, this is designed to be kind of a minimalistic person. If you see that, she doesn't have very many features, or she doesn't actually have any features, right? So mine is designed to do that. You absolutely could paint a face on. You know, you wouldn't even need to paint this necessarily. You could use colored pencils, or you could use markers, and you could color in the person. I am going to do another minimalistic person, and so I am going to just paint it with some watercolors. I'm not going to worry about a face, but again, you do you. You do it the way you want it to show up. All right, and the really cool thing about watercolors is that, you know, you can mix colors and you can get some great skin tones. So I am going to mix some yellow and some brown and a little bit of orange, and let's see, I like that quite a bit. So I'm going to continue doing that. And you can make this match your skin tone. You can make it match a friend's skin tone. You can paint them completely non-skin tone colors. You could paint a purple person. It's up to you. I think it's great. I just love watercolors. I know I talk about that quite a bit. I love watercolors because of all of the different variations that you see as you paint. Oh, whoops, I didn't mix those very well, did I? All right. So yeah, so this will not be a solid color if you watercolor it. It will be, there will be variations all over, and I think that will be lovely. Okay, so at this point, you kind of need to wait for everything to dry. If you get a little impatient, you most certainly could use a blow dryer and blow dry these. But these things need to be dry before you move on. So I am going to wait for them to dry, and then I will meet you back here with a completely dry person and a completely dry coffee filter. I'll see you soon. Hello again. I am back with my completely dry person and my completely dry coffee filter, which will be made into a skirt. All right, so once you are at this stage, you can go ahead and cut out your person. So this is, you know, just go along the lines. It absolutely doesn't have to be perfect at all. And if you have drawn your own person, go ahead and cut it out as well. And remember, your person can be whatever you want your person to be. You could make it someone who's wearing a dress or someone who's wearing pants. I think it might be kind of fun to try to make that coffee filter into pants. I mean, you know what? It is National Dress Day, but that doesn't matter, right? You should do something just like Miss Vionnet. Do something that makes you happy. All right, so once you have your person cut out, you are good there. Then you are going to take your coffee filter and fold it into a skirt or pants or a shirt, whatever you want this coffee filter to become. But like I said, I'm going to go along with the dresses, and I am going to fold over the coffee filter. So I folded it in half, and then it's up to you how you want to design it. So then I am going to fold it in a little bit, and let's see. So I'm going to use this side as the front, and I think that I will like it better if it's a little bit more angular. So I am going to fold it that way, but of course you can fold yours however you want. And yes, I like that. I think I'm going to fold just a little extra pleat in here just for fun. And yes, I love that. I'll fold those down. And there we go. I like that skirt quite a bit. Well, so now I am going to take my fabric, my felt that I have here, and I am going to make the top of the dress. And in order to do that, it's very simple. I'm going to just put my person down, and I'm actually going to let that arm hang off of the fabric because I really just want fabric to cover this part of the person, just this middle part. So I don't need that arm on the fabric, and this will save me a little bit of fabric. So I am just going to draw it, and I actually think I'm going to turn it over. So if the marker goes onto my person, it will go onto the back of my person. And so I am just now tracing around the body of the person. So you can see there that it is just kind of a big U. And then I'm just going to cut around that U, and then I will be able to put that on my person. Again, you can decide however you want your person to be dressed is totally fine. So I'll flip that over so I don't see the markers. And yes, I think that will make a nice little top there. I am going to go ahead and make a little V neckline right here for my person. This would be really fun to look through some magazines before you do this and decide what kind of clothing you want your little paper person to wear. You can look at necklines, you can look at arm lengths. It's up to you. Because I can definitely see that if you wanted, you could put some sleeves on your person too. With this fabric or any other color fabric, have fun with it. All right, so I like my person's neckline and I like the way that this fabric fits them. So now I am going to put some white glue down on my person, and then I will cover up that glue with that fabric. Okay, so I like that. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and put the skirt on, and I think I'm going to fold back this top part just a little bit to kind of give a lower waist. You play with yours and figure out exactly how you want your little paper person to look. And then on the bottom half of this fabric, I am going to go ahead and just put some glue, some white glue on top, and then I will stick my coffee filter right in there. And I think I want that up just a little bit. I'll give her a higher waist. And there we go. I now have my person dressed. But I also think that I'm going to give her a belt. So now I am going to take my ribbon, or I could take some other fabric if I had that too, and I am going to put a ribbon around her waist. So I will just cut some off here. Oh, whoops. And then I'll put some glue. I guess I'll put it on the ribbon. That seems easiest. Right there in the middle. And I will glue that over the coffee filter. And then I am going to wrap this ribbon around the back, and I will put some glue here too. Now this glue may not stick very well. If it doesn't, grab some tape and tape on the pieces that you just glued on. It seems like this would work pretty well if you were able to sit here and wait for it to dry, but that would take like 30 minutes. And so I don't know that necessarily you want to do that. So I actually have some tape here, and I am going to tape the back so that way I am just ready to go. All right, now I'm flipping it over, and there I have my person completely dressed. And now I think I'm going to add some hair, and I'm going to do that by adding some yarn to the top of this person's head. Let me see if I can find the end quickly. Oh, there it is. Oh, good. So you can decide however you want to put this person's hair on. You can make it short or long. You can make it messy or very well kept. It's up to you. You can make it look like you, or you can make it look like someone totally different. You can make it look like a friend or a parent or, really anybody that you want. You could actually even make it look like a famous person that you like to follow. And, you can go with realistic colored hair, or you can go with not realistic colored hair. This might be really fun to have someone with orange hair, because that orange would really pop out from the skirt too. It is totally your call. All right, so I just added that on with a little bit of glue, and then it'll take a little bit to dry, but I think it will dry pretty well as long as you keep it flat. And at that point, you can decide that your person is done. Or you can add some beads, or you could add some glitter or some sequins. This is a great place to go out and add your dirt. I would put a little bit of dirt in my hand and some glue and mix it up, and then I could put it anywhere I wanted on here. Believe me, if you look at fashion runways, you will see some amazing, amazing things used in fashion that you would never, ever anticipate would be used in fashion. So have at it. I would love for your person to be unique to you. And I'm sure that it will be because you're the one making it, right? Well, I would love to see all of your people that you make. If you make them, please ask a grown-up to take a picture of your people and put that on our Facebook site. I'm so excited to see that. I can't wait to see your creativity. All right, well, what do you think? Do you think Miss Vionnet would approve of our paper people? I think she would. And I think she would really approve, doubly approve, because we had fun making them. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for coming and learning about this really cool fashion designer. I hope you've had as much fun as I have. I look forward to seeing you on Monday, where we will be doing another Masterpiece Monday lesson. I can't wait. But until then, thanks so much for joining me for this one. Thanks so much for kidding around with me. I will see you next time.